We're about to watch million-dollar draft day decisions and some fantasy rankings get shaped by drills designed 40 years ago. A straight line 40-yard sprint without pads? Sure, sounds meaningful. A bench press test that has nothing to do with football leverage? Cool. And agility drills most players don't even fully train for or even compete in anymore? What are we doing? And here's the part that nobody wants to admit. Some of these tests barely matter for certain positions. They're completely irrelevant. I mean, we're using track metrics to evaluate football players and then using those results to draft fantasy teams later on down the road. So we went back through the last 5 NFL combines, and what we found? Well, let's just say you're about to stop overreacting due to 40 times forever. Now, first off, quarterbacks are basically non-existent nowadays in the NFL Combine. Most don't even throw at the Combine anymore, and do scouts really care about that anyway? I mean, let's be honest. They have ridiculous amounts of game tape on each player, which is so much more telling than what they do in spandex with no defense. Now, did you know that only 2 drafted quarterbacks actually participated in things like the 40, the vertical jump, the 3-cone, and the shuttle in 2025? And I'm sure you would agree with me, most of the NFL great quarterbacks aren't exactly excelling in track and field metrics anyway. But let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the running back and wide receiver positions, and we'll start off at running back. And here at this position, so much attention gets paid to the 40-yard dash. We need those speed demons on an NFL field. I mean, we all need to see them running a straight line in outfits that are so tight, we see things that we really don't want to see, right? When we go back over the last 5 years, here are some of the best finishers in the 40-yard dash at the running back position. We got Byshell Tootin at 4.32, Jaden Blue 4.38, Brashard Smith 4.39, Isaac Guerrero 4.33, Jalen Wright 4.38, Trey Benson 4.39, Devon Achane 4.32, he's a burner, Jahmyr Gibbs at 4.36, he's a burner. We got Keaton Mitchell at 4.37, Elijah Mitchell at 4.38, and then surprisingly, don't forget, Jonathan Taylor ran a 4.39 40 at his combine. Now, those guys are flying, but now let's compare them to some of the middle of the pack guys, or the guys that didn't even choose to run at the combine. Guys like Dylan Sampson, Ashton Genty, Cam Scadaboo, they didn't even run at the combine. Ollie Gordon a 4.61, Kyle Monangai a 4.6, Devin Neal a 4.58, Caleb Johnson 4.57, Bucky Irving a 4.55, Jalen Warren a 4.55, Kyron Williams a 4.65, Javonte Williams a 4.55, Ramondre Stevenson a 4.64, and Rico Dowdle 4.54. So the point isn't that fast guys always suck. It's that even slower runners have just as good a chance at becoming something in the NFL. And yes, I put slower in air quotes because I can't even imagine what it feels like for my legs to move at a 4.6 speed. Now, other events like the 3-cone and the shuttle, where maybe you could see their explosiveness and how they change direction, well, only one drafted running back competed in both of those events last year. It was Taj Brooks, who was drafted by Cincinnati. And that's not really a fluke. Only 4 of the 29 running backs in 2024 did both of those events as well. It's both of these events are dying at this position at the NFL Combine. But then we get to things like the vertical jump. And do we really care about a vertical jump when it comes to a running back? They're taught to keep their feet on the ground, to keep their feet moving, fight for yards. I don't care how high they can jump. And when is the last time you saw a running back broad jump in the middle of a run to gain extra yards? No, I know they're trying to test explosiveness, but you see all of that on game tape. I mean, if anything, I would rather see them squat or do leg presses. That's where we can actually see how strong their legs are. Can they push a pile to fight for those extra yards? But in my opinion, what really matters here is where are they going to be drafted? Do they have a clear path to touches? How good is their offensive line? Can their quarterback keep opposing defenses honest by moving the ball successfully down the field through the air? Because seriously, is there really, be honest with yourself here, that big of a difference in 4.3 seconds and 4.5 seconds? I really don't think so, not at the NFL level. Now, what about the wide receiver position? A lot here also goes into the 40-yard dash and the vertical jump at the wide receiver position. Somewhat important here, I guess you could say, but once again, things that you can see on tape and not reliant on the spandex Olympics here at the NFL Combine. We'll start with the 40-yard dash, though, and here are some of the best finishers over the last 5 years. Matthew Golden at a 4.29, Dante Thornton Jr. at a 4.30, Joshua Lane 4.34, Xavier Worthy burner 4.21, Brian Thomas Jr. at a 4.33, Adonai Mitchell 4.34, Trey Palmer 4.33, Bryce Ford Wheaton at a 4.38, Darius Davis 4.36. A lot of 4.3 guys, right? Matt Landers, Tyquan Thornton at a 4.28, Velus Jones Jr., Calvin Austin, Anthony Schwartz, Rondell Moore. Rest in peace, Rondell Moore. Jamar Chase, 4.34. Henry Ruggs at a 4.27. Quez Watkins at a 4.35. Are you starting to notice that a lot of these guys really aren't fantasy relevant? And then we round out the list with Darnell Mooney at 4.38. Hell, I do this for a living, and I can't even tell you who the hell Matt Landers is. Dude sounds like a Simpsons character or something. But now let's go ahead and compare them to some of the middle of the pack guys or guys that didn't even choose to run at the NFL Combine. Guys like Emeka Egbuka, Tet McMillan. Neither one of those guys ran. Neither did Malik Neighbors or Puka Nacua. Last year's top wide receiver, JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, he didn't run. Michael Wilson ran a 4.58. He exploded at times in 2025. Drake London, Jamison Williams, they didn't run. Amon-Ra St. Brown ran a 4.5. T. Higgins didn't run. CeeDee Lamb at a 4.5. And Michael Pittman Jr. at a 4.52. Now, I'm pretty sure all of the guys here have been pretty fantasy viable at some point or another, despite slower times or not even choosing to run. But now, let's take a look at the vertical jump over the last few combines. We got Sam Brown Jr. at 41. Who's Sam Brown Jr.? Jalen Knoll at 41.5, Joshua Lane at 40, Jalen Coker 42.5, Malik Washington 42.5, Ricky Pearsall 42, Rashee Rice 41, Quentin Johnston 40.5, Jalen Hyatt at 40, Bryce Ford Wheaton at 41, Alec Pierce, this makes sense, this is why he wins 50-50 balls down the field at 40.5, Isaiah Weston at 40, Calvin Austin at 39, Josh Imatorbhebhe 46.5, and I don't know who the hell he is. Rondell Moore at a 42.5. RIP Rondell Moore once again. Jamar Chase at 41. Donovan Peoples-Jones at 44.5. Henry Ruggs and Jalen Reagor at 42. But then we look at some of the bottom half guys, the guys that either chose to not jump or didn't finish as high in this competition. Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, Tet McMillan, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua. They didn't even choose to jump. Jackson Smith-Njigba only jumped 35 inches. Zay Flowers at 35.5. Olave at 32. Pickens at 33. Nico Collins at 37.5. T. Higgins, he didn't jump. CeeDee Lamb at 34.5 and Michael Pittman at 36.5. Now, to me, the first thing that stands out is a guy like Bryce Ford Wheaton should be killing it in the NFL right now. He was a top finisher in the 40 and the vert. However, the guy has 0 catches in the NFL, and the only stats that show up for him are 5 tackles on special teams in his career. But then you see guys like CeeDee Lamb not being faster than a 4.5 in the 40 and one of the lower verticals. And the dude is a 5-time Pro Bowler in the league. Just like running back, it comes down to where they're being drafted. That's what actually matters. Who is their quarterback going to be? Can he deliver them catchable balls? Are there snaps available to get them on the field right away? Now, don't get me wrong, the NFL Combine is a great chance for us to get some off-season NFL fix. It stimulates the juices some, and it does build some excitement. But I want to end it with this question. Does it really help us find the next great NFL player? It's a no for me, dog.
I'm a headliner.